Hey, what's up guys, this is Leaf here, back to do a Canes Wrath video commentary. Today we have Dirty Dutch playing as the orange Nod and HiDrauLicK playing as the red GDI. Now I have just downloaded this from GameReplays.org. Seems pretty massive in length, 1.62 megabytes, which is pretty colossal. Should be about the longest game I've ever done. And some of the comments have been mainly positive. Comment section has been mainly positive. It should be a pretty good game. Anyways, we have HiDrauLicK over here as the GDI. I'm going to be training just one engineer, I think, or possibly a second engineer. I think he is aware that Dirty Dutch is playing as Nod, or it could be a random v random matchup, but no. Both factions are shown in the player status, so it's not a random v random matchup. Looks like he's going to capture that spike there. Dirty Dutch, meanwhile, what's he doing? Looks like he went for a refinery first. It does look like it, because his engineer is just popping out from the barracks. A player of his caliber would not forget his engineer if he went for a power plant first. And HiDrauLicK going to be sending some scouts for the middle. He knows that he's up against Nod, so his scouts are going to be much faster. They should be able to intercept anything that Dirty Dutch throws down there, because they can also dig in the foxholes, which are quite a nuisance to deal with as Nod. Not so bad for Scrin. Anyways, scouting squad being taken out by the vastly superior rifleman squad. And what is Dirty Dutch doing? He's going for just one harvest. He's going for an eco boom at the moment. What is HiDrauLicK doing? I think he is also going for an eco boom, but no, not quite. His refinery is possibly on hold, or that was cancelled. Let me just double check this. Yeah, he must have cancelled his second refinery. I'm not sure if that was a good idea. What's he going for? He's went for 3 harvesters. This is going to delay his expansion somewhat, because he's going for 3 harvesters before a second refinery. Dirty Dutch, meanwhile, is probably going to place down his 3rd power plant and immediately expand to his natural Tiberium field. He's going for a raider buggy. Probably could send that to HiDrauLick's base, because he has HiDrauLicK unscouted at the moment. GDI, they don't generally tend to rush that often, but you have to keep them scouted anyhow, especially HiDrauLicK, because I just observed that game. Not observed, but I watched the VOD of Green Zero, the last VOD of Green Zero, where HiDrauLicK won with that such an unorthodox tactic with the rig and the APC rocket combo. Pretty mad. So he has to watch out for that kind of stuff from HiDrauLicK. But HiDrauLicK, he's not going for any of that this game. He's going to play pretty standard, going for, well, not standard, but he's going for an eco boom, 4 harvesters, several pit bulls. Dirty Dutch going for 2 War Factory buggy, which is what he loves to do, especially against me. And he's moving his MCV towards the middle field, so interesting game this is shaping up to be. Wonder how Dirty Dutch is going to do with these bikes, as they are not very effective against pit bulls, but if he uses the raider buggies to meat shield them, then the bikes can probably pick off these pit bulls one at a time and be cost effective. HiDrauLicK scouting the 2 war factories, I think, and he's going immediately for 2 war factories of his own, spamming pit bulls. But Dirty Dutch, on the other hand, has just sold his 2nd war factory. He'll be floating a bit of money. Where is his MCV? Oh, his MCV, what? I'm fairly sure he was moving his MCV towards the middle, but now he's going towards the southern Tiberium field. Wow. So I'm not sure what on earth happened there. Perhaps he changed his mind. It's mind games, isn't it? And these pit bulls are going to be absolutely decimated by those bikes. The bikes are just too much for those pit bulls, especially when they're being overwhelmed 3-1. But the reinforcements are coming in, and those pit bulls will make short work of the bikes now. And yeah, there we go. Dirty Dutch realizing that, and he's going to retreat. He does have the speed advantage with the bikes. The bikes are the fastest unit in Canes Wrath on the land. Land, of course. If we're talking about aircraft, then that's not true. I think not Storm Riders. I think Firehawks are the fastest air unit in the game. By far, they are the fastest unit. So Dirty Dutch is going for rocket spam, because he's anticipating these pit bulls to attack the southern field. But what happens if he goes for this field here? HiDrauLicK could just take out all of those Scorpion tanks, but then he does have a couple rocket defense here. He's got a good rocket defense. HiDrauLicK, he almost lost his construction yard. I really forgot to mention this. So he was lucky in keeping that alive. You really don't want to drive your MCV through the rocks here. The terrain is kind of uneven. You can't really deploy your MCV. Not even the Skrin factions can deploy it there. But Skrin, you know, they've got this flying MCV. Because, you know, they just have to be better than humanity. And Scorp tank's gonna chase these pit bulls away. I mean, he could snipe these Scorp tanks one at a time if he had the micro to do so. I mean, easily these Scorp tanks here, because they're not in a good formation. You can take out these Scorpion tanks one at a time. And it looks like HiDrauLicK's Harvester is under attack. DirtDutch is extremely good at this kind of maneuvers. He likes to get your Harvesters while you don't even know he's going for your Harvesters. He's extremely good when it comes to that harassment. He is, after all, a Black Hand player, and Black Hand are extremely potent at causing that kind of damage to you. Anyways, the Scorp tanks are going to be forced to retreat. That was a nice two-pronged assault by DirtDutch, but will he get this Harvester here? No, not quite. Losing all of his bikes, so that was kind of a waste. I didn't think that traded off so well for DirtDutch. And DirtDutch is going to retreat with these Scorp tanks. HiDrauLicK now got an expansion up. He did lose a Harvester. DirtDutch, on the other hand, he is ahead because he has got 2 refineries, and the tip spikes, looks like HiDrauLicK captured the 3rd tip spike, so he has a spike advantage over DirtDutch, so that will make up for the Harvesters that he lost just here. And a Hammerhead to go along with his Pitbull spam, that's interesting. Maybe it's loaded with an Engineer. No, it's not loaded with anything. He's already got the spikes anyway, so why would he put an Engineer in there? And DirtDutch going for the rockets, the mass rocket spam. We got the rockets. We got the rockets. Just love hearing that. And this Hammerhead just gonna chill down here for a minute. I don't think it's wise to engage that many rockets, especially as they're now receiving the upgrades. DirtDutch going for the upgrades, and what's happening here? Pitbull's going to be marching into this base, but not quite. Don't really want to engage there since there's some rocket defense. And rockets pretty mean to Pitbull. You don't want to be engaging those with the Pitbulls unless you got like thousands of them. Which, in that case, you probably could have won the game in the first place. And these Scorpion tanks are going to get absolutely smashed by the Orcas. The Orcas do not have any upgrades to speak of, but he may be getting an upgrade. No, not quite. 1 or 2 Scorp tanks are remaining, but this Harvester may go down. What's happening here? Just rocket squads. The rocket squads have been upgraded with a tip infusion, makes them extremely fast. Somehow being infused with Tiberium makes you a lot faster. I don't know how that's logically possible, but the Tiberium universe isn't really, when you think about it. And this Orca Strike going to come in, doing immense amount of damage to the rocket squads. I was expecting that to happen. Not quite. Spreading out his infantry forces, allowing that Orca Strike to do some damage. And these rockets, look how fast they are. They're so fast, the non-rocket squads, aren't they? And he could take out this tower real quick. What's happening here? Pitbull's going to snipe down this blue harvester. He definitely needs to get that blue harvester, because if Dutch pulls in that amount of money, then he's going to be just absolutely massing an army, which HiDrauLicK can't stop, really. And HiDrauLicK getting desperate, using the Pred tanks to crush the rockets, but losing a harvester. So he lost a harvester there. Not quite good. I mean, DirtDutch is keeping him on his toes at the moment. He's still got the 3 spikes, mind you, but these rockets are going to slowly pick away at it. Not quite shooting at the same time. And stealth tanks, not really the best counter to Pitbulls, if you ask me. I mean, seriously, it should be avoided if your opponent has that many Pitbulls. At least try and take as many of them out as possible with the Raiders or the Scorp tanks before changing into that kind of tactics. But you may have some more stealth tanks hidden elsewhere on the map. I'm not quite sure. A couple stealth tanks around here could do some massive damage to GDI. GDI really they tend to struggle a little bit if you don't see them coming. And he's going to put a rifleman squad inside of this Hammerhead, so he's using his APM to most effect here. I mean, why wouldn't you put a rifleman squad on your Hammerhead? And seriously, just makes them better. But he should be really focusing on establishing a better eco. Where is MCV? Seriously, where is the MCV? Oh, don't tell me he got that MCV taken out. I'm so not paying attention today. And these Shatterer tanks, they could take out these rockets. I mean, they're not Black Hand rocket squads. They'll get instantly destroyed by those Shatterers. One shot, and they get instantly murdered. Pred tank does go down, and since they do have the Tib Infusion upgrade, they are immune to Tiberium. But oh no, Catalyst Missile goes off. Dirty Dutch, you dirty boy, going for the Tiberium chemical plant, and he used the one click there, probably also the C Tiberium support power, and that's really crippled HiDrauLicK. He's going for another MCV, so that one must assume that he lost his MCV, which is also not very good at all for HiDrauLicK. So HiDrauLicK, you've got a comeback to make happen now. You've certainly got enough Shatterers here to end this. I mean, if you use the Hammerheads as well as the Shatterer tanks, those infantry will just get absolutely massacred, as you'll see right now. And one lone Hammerhead. Where are the rest? The rest are just coming in to aid the Shatterers. The Shatterers, they really do not want to get destroyed here. And it looks like HiDrauLicK's going to try and make a push with these Shatterer tanks. He's only got 3 Harvesters, mind. He's still got 2 Spikes. Spikes have been giving him quite a bit of income thus far. And he is unaware of this Harvester of Dirty Dutch. Going to do some harvesting, of course. Harvesters are stealth, so he doesn't have to worry about that being detected by a Shatterer, because, you know, Shatterers, they don't have stealth detection. But they are quite lethal to Harvesters if they are detected. So Dirty Dutch may want to keep that a hidden. And Vertigo Bombers out for Dirty Dutch. Didn't notice those being trained. What's he going for? A Redeemer. Just 2 Vertigos. He's not going to commit so hard to the Vertigo Bombers. And HiDrauLicK going for the expansion, placing his revs down before going for any tech of any kind, because the Redeemer has just come out and he's got a lot of problems there. I'm not sure how he's going to take on a Redeemer. And Harvesters, at the moment, are going to get destroyed. This 3 Harvesters about to go down here. Dirty Dutch not going to be enjoying that, and these Shadow tanks may actually get destroyed, but not that one, not quite being destroyed there. Luckily, HiDrauLicK did notice at the very last second and saved that Harvester from being destroyed, and the Harvester does get destroyed there. So Dirty Dutch losing 4 Harvesters, man. What are you doing? You've only got 2 Harvesters left. You need to keep an eye on your Harvesters. Protect them at all costs. I mean, you haven't expanded. Where is your MCB? See, this is another thing about you, Dirty Dutch. You never ever expand. You always do a 1 base, a 2 base all-in play, which is, it's effective, but you're pretty much screwed if you don't make it work. And HiDrauLicK, he's got a pretty good expansion setup here. Only 2 Harvesters, mind, so he could start training some more of those Harvesters. And the Hammerheads have revealed the Redeemer. The Redeemer is not stealthed, so yeah, it's not being revealed anyways. It's just going to get killed by those Hammerheads. And there is no rockets inside of them, so it's just going to be pure AP ammo shooting at that Redeemer. It's going to take them forever, literally forever. And the Tib Core bikes are out for Dirty Dutch and sniping those Hammerheads down really quickly with the Hammerheads, with the attack bikes. Attack bikes pretty good against aircraft. Pretty overpowered, actually. The HiDrauLicK going for the armory, going to get the EMP grenades researched. That's not a bad choice of his. But these Shadow tanks will get taken out, which is not really good for HiDrauLicK. He needs to have all the DPS as possible to take on that Redeemer, but look at all these Shadow tanks. Wow, he's really going heavy on Shats, but he has the Vertigo Bombers, and I don't think that HiDrauLicK has accounted for those Vertigo Bombers. Where are the Pibbles? The Pibbles are marching down the bottom of the map, trying to possibly take out some more Harvesters. I mean, destroying more Harvesters would be just devastating for Dirty Dutch right now, as he doesn't have an expansion or much Harvesters. He's trying to leech this blue Tiberium, but I reckon it's going to get destroyed. And the Shadowers are coming in to try and take out as much of this base as possible. The Redeemer, though, is coming to do nothing. It's just going to sit there idle for a second. Dirty Dutch should wake up a bit here, and he's going to be training a lot of these Shadow tanks. Those Shadow tanks doing a ton of damage to the base. And what is happening here? nice control of the hydraulic units here. Backstabbing Dirty Dutch from the rear, and also using the Shatterer tanks at the front of his base to cause damage as well. And the Redeemer looks like it finally received some orders, and it will be ordered to take out this base in the name of Cain, and it will get all of this will get destroyed. All those power plants are going to put HiDrauLicK really low on power. I think he has researched the upgrade, so he doesn't need any more power for that. And this MCV is in extreme danger, but it's already fenced, and the attack bikes and obelisks are coming in to try and save this MCV from being destroyed, but I think it's just too much for these Shadow tanks. These Shadow tanks will just barely, come on, get this, get the MCV, get the MCV, get it. Oh my goodness, he just lost it. He just lost all those Shadow tanks for nothing. That is absolutely devastating for HiDrauLicK. And Dirty Dutch, that just really saved you the game right there. And I think there is a heroic bike in the process for destroying those hammerheads. Or not quite, I'm just imagining things here. The Redeemer, it does have a rank on it. It's got 2 flamethrowers in it. He could just probably do a suicide march at this base. I mean, there is grenades there, but I mean, if you use the rage prior to going in there, then the grenades wouldn't be really useful. These harvesters are going to get destroyed. Dirty Dutch is going to cause a lot of harassment here. The Tib core bikes are extremely effective, and they will snipe this harvester, getting 2 harvesters, but he's going to pay with it for a couple of bikes. And there is sniper teams out for HiDrauLicK, so HiDrauLicK going heavy on snipers. I'm not sure why. I mean, there is no imp to speak of. Well, there is just a couple of imp, but really, does that warrant going for sniper teams? That's quite an expensive transition. Perhaps he thought he already won. When he had the Shadow tanks out, he's like, hey, yeah, I've won this game. I'm just going to go for sniper teams because, hey, I'm just going to screw around here. Who wouldn't screw around if you've got such a huge advantage over your opponent? And the sniper team's going to take a shot at the infantry, at the Redeemer. And the Redeemer quite immune to sniper teams. He could probably send those snipers back to base in case he does get ambushed by some infantry. Dirty Dutch moving his MCV to the middle green field. HiDrauLicK going heavy on the Pred tanks now, so he's going back to the tier 1. We haven't seen tier 3 from him yet. Oh, I don't think. No, we have not seen tier 3 out of HiDrauLicK. Just shows that GDI really don't need their tech, do they? Apart from the Marv and the Firehawks. Firehawks, pretty good units. You could probably take out these power plants, the tier 3 and whatnot. But will this Redeemer get destroyed? He has to use the EMP grenades. I don't think he has any more EMP grenades here. Let me just check it out, his army composition here. I know it gets pretty messy now. I do tend to play with my health bars on all the time because I can micro the units that are damaged and send them back. The game registers my micro, of course. Sometimes it just flat out doesn't. And I lose my units anyways. And this Redeemer will get destroyed. Oh no, that's not good. He could have easily gone in there and flamed those infantry down. But he must have been distracted because there is a huge army here by Dirty Dutch. Well, not huge, but it's going to be the forefront of his assault on this base of HiDrauLicK. HiDrauLicK was already established here, but Dirty Dutch deploying obelisks. He's still got his tier 3 up there, and obelisks are going to be a huge problem for HiDrauLicK. HiDrauLicK, though, got the AP ammo upgrade, and those AP ammo towers are going to be pretty much all he needs to stop this push on Dirty Dutch's MCV. And if Dirty Dutch loses this second MCV, he's going to have no chance of coming out of this. No chance whatsoever. And HiDrauLicK, he's just down to 1 field though. He's got 2 harvesters mine, and Dirty Dutch is doing a ton of aggression, surprisingly. But the AP ammo and rocket defense is going to be all he needs to stop this MCV from deploying a ton of defenses. Dirty Dutch is not going to have enough time to save this MCV and build a shredder turret so you can take out those rocket squads. He's going to take out this MCV now. MCV is going to get destroyed any moment, and Dirty Dutch is going to be pretty much put out of the game. I don't see him in any way he can come out of this, although he does have 2 harvesters. HiDrauLicK just down to 2 harvesters. What is Dirty Dutch going for? He's got 2 harvesters as well, mind, and he's got a pretty good amount of tib here. So he's not out of it just yet. He's going for flame tanks, and flame tanks is a good idea. I don't think HiDrauLicK is going to see these flame tanks coming up from the rear. These sniper teams could be doing some valuable scouting for him, especially against Noah, but he must be pretty panicking right now. He's like, screw you, Dirty Dutch, I'm going to send everything to your base, and I'm just going to pwn you right now. But he's just realized, oh no, there's a flame tank coming in from the rear, and I need to stop that right now, or it's going to pwn me. And yeah, there we go. It's going to find its way into this base and destroy a couple of power plants. It could even take out the MCV, I think. But yeah, these rocket squads just way out of position. It's going to take him forever to literally stop this. But the rockets are coming into range using the fence. Nice micro by Dirty Dutch in trying to keep that flame tank alive by moving it around the power plant. But both of the flame tanks do get taken out, unfortunately. And the flame tank debris, I think it kills infantry. Not too sure about that. Correct me in the comments. Nothing else does. I mean, if a hexapod gets destroyed or a redeemer goes down, you don't suffer any casualties if units are standing nearby to it. But with flame tanks, no, it's completely different because EA likes to be consistent. And more bikes going down. And he's only got 2 bikes just now and a lot of militia. I mean, seriously, look at all that militia there. That's a ton of militia. And militia, if you didn't know, actually you probably do know, but militia counter rocket squads fairly effectively, especially when they're upgraded. And the pitbulls, they aren't upgraded with mortars, so they can't really do much against that, to be honest. Dirty Dutch, what's he going for? He's going for another MCV. He just still have his tier 3 up now. He could probably go for a TIB chem plant. Seriously, I mean, you build a TIB chem plant, get a lot of resources from that C-type rim, and then just sell it off immediately. It warrants the TIB chem plant. And you get a flame trooper out of it as well, which you could probably send to this spike here. But the sniper team's going to do a bit of damage. For HiDrauLicK, you could probably send the sniper team out because it will get killed. HiDrauLicK, your sniper team, but it is going to get killed. Not quite. He's managed to save both members there. That's up on those extremely underused support power. You only see it used on commandos, but really GDI Kane's Wrath. Not very often. Because GDI have the hammerheads, and hammerheads just own infantry. Especially if you have a specialized force of infantry. Zone troopers, for that reason, are not often used either. But the hammerhead will get taken out. He does have an orca. I can't imagine that being a firehawk because he has no tech. Not sure what the orca is, to be honest, but these pitbulls going to come in and try and kill these bikes. He does have a nice force of pitbulls. One more hammerhead does come out. And Dirty Dutch, what are you going for? You're going for another epic unit. The Redeemer is going to be your answer to HiDrauLiCK's mass army. Pitbulls. And there is no anti-infantry here, so that hammerhead's going to absolutely murder those infantry there. Which is not going to be great for Dirty Dutch. Dirty Dutch, what are you going to do now there, buddy? HiDrauLicK's going to move his MCV back. That's nice work. He has very little Tiberium here, so at least he's expanding before he's deployed. The Redeemer is being trained very slowly. He needs to get that out really quickly so he can put as much pressure onto HiDrauLicK as possible. And the Orca, I don't think it's upgraded with sensor pods. I mean, he could upgrade sensor pods and detect everything. These stealth tanks are pretty useless once you have sensor pods. I mean, I'm not even a GDI player, but I know for a fact that sensor pods are probably the best stealth detection for GDI and in the game, to be honest. They only cost about $100. They last like 3 minutes. And they have a huge radius. So how can you avoid such a valuable asset against Nod? I mean, Nod, they rely on their stealth to gain the upper hand. And the pitbulls for HiDrauLicK going to make a move. Not quite getting into Dirty Dutch's base. Dirty Dutch too good for it. Setting up more rockets. Rockets pretty much the best unit he had this game. So thus far, this game still going. Dirty Dutch still trying to push his way to victory. But having said that, HiDrauLicK has expanded to this field here. He's going to drop his a refinery there, so we're back to square one pretty much now. Both sides are going to be mining from their original Tiberium field. And this Orca here, not doing very much. Although there isn't really much to do. He could get the sensor pods, like I said, detect this Redeemer if Dirty Dutch decides to cloak it, although he's probably not going to cloak it. I can't imagine him having $3,000, but he does have stealth tanks, and those stealth tanks going to take out this spike. I mean, Dirty Dutch finally realizes that, hey, HiDrauLicK's been had this spike for a very, very long time. It's been since the start he had this spike, and he has made a lot of money from it, but that was enough to lose all of his bikes to those pit bulls, and the pit bulls will take all those bikes out. Unfortunately for Dirty Dutch, he was not reacting in time. HiDrauLicK got 4 hammerheads still. He'd probably take out those rockets first. If you take out the rockets, then he would take out the infantry force, no problem. With the Redeemer, I'm not sure why it's retreating. He has to fight. It's fight to the death right now. It's going to get chased down. It's not stealthed. There's a grenade squad there, and since he has EMP grenades, it's just going to get EMP'd. Maybe, no, not quite. EMP does fail. The Redeemer does have 2 flamethrower hard points inside of it, and the rocket squads, HiDrauLicK not paying much attention, losing the rocket squads to the hammerheads. That wasn't good. The Orca is coming in though to save the day and really get this Redeemer, scoring 2 Shatterer kills, and the Orca is going to just barely make it alive. So Dirty Dutch failing to accomplish much with that Redeemer, really. HiDrauLicK could have made a better, you could have done a bit better there in defending. And HiDrauLicK, where are these stealth tanks? The stealth tanks are around here somewhere. There's one floating around somewhere. I just know it's so hard to see. I'm not even going to bother looking for them on the radar. It's just hopeless, really. And Spike, Dirty Dutch still got his spike left. Both sides have got their natural spike, and there's a stealth tank. Let's keep an eye on this stealth tank. Where is he going to? He's looking for Tiberium. He's looking for harvesters more like. And he's not going to find any harvesters there because HiDrauLicK, he's actually at this field. Now HiDrauLicK pulling some pit bulls down to the south. He knows that Dirty Dutch has some stealth tanks and needs to defend off against those. And HiDrauLicK trying to be aggressive with this army. This is a very small army, but those hammerheads are going to make a retreat. The Shatterer has to get some pretty good shots off of that infantry. Then the hammerheads can clean up pretty quickly. There is no AA. Well, actually there is. There's a ton of tip core bikes there. So HiDrauLicK, it's not really a good idea for you to put all your army into that. And unleashed what? Dirty Dutch going to be using this stealth tank to try and take out as much as he can, but of course when stealth tanks lose 3/4 of their health, then they become visible. They lose their stealth module or whatever it's called. And one hammerhead is badly damaged. You could send that to the airfield for some free repairs, but these pit bulls, nice micro by HiDrauLicK, hoping that Dirty Dutch would target one of those pit bulls so they all go chasing it and pretty much sandwiched and get killed. That's why I love to do it with Mechapedes as well. Mechapedes is actually a good unit to do that kind of thing. And Dirty Dutch once again going to lose his MCV. He doesn't have really much here to stop this huge army of HiDrauLicK. HiDrauLicK got a pretty massive army here, but Dirty Dutch coming in with some reinforcements, a mass amount of rockets. But will he save this MCV? I don't think so. And this could be like the 4th MCV of Dirty Dutch that's going down here. And this is such an action-packed game. It's really, really close. I'm surprised it does not have much more wubs than this. They only got 4 wubs. Come on. Whole lot of fun watching this here. And the rocket squads of Dirty Dutch going to try and take out those pit bulls, but not quite getting there. I mean, they are fast with the upgrade, but they're not fast enough. And HiDrauLicK, he's got a good eco setup here. He's got 5 and 2. He could probably move this MCV any moment, but he's going for mass infantry to counter Dirty Dutch's mass infantry, so it's going to be pretty interesting. He's going for sniper teams. He could probably place some APM at towers and shield them out with a power plant or 2. That would also be a good counter to the rockets. He's using his hammerheads effectively here. He's not wasting them unnecessarily. He's got 4 sniper teams. No, that's not going to be good for Dirty Dutch. Dirty Dutch is going to lose a ton of these infantry to these sniper teams unless he has a few raider buggies floating around, although nods within a nod, raider buggies do not detect stealth, if you did not know. It's only these sub-factions that do. And Dirty Dutch is going to make a move towards HiDrauLick's base now, so it's pretty back and forth this game. HiDrauLicK going to lose his base by the look of things, unless he can place enough defense towers and sniper teams. I forgot about those. They're coming in. They're going to just murder these infantry here. Look how fast they are. They've got pretty high rate of fire, these sniper teams. And they're all going to get killed, those rockets of Dirty Dutch. That's nice work there. I think some of those sniper teams may be promoted. You could spread them out so these rockets aren't doing as much area of effect damage as what they are doing right now. And all the rockets are going to be taken out So extremely well played there by HiDrauLicK, and he's to get all these attack bikes to take out the hammerheads. Sniper team's not very good in this situation here. He's going for a mass amount of sniper teams. He's got way too many snipers. He may have overspent slightly with the sniper teams. Dirty Dutch still going for his MCVs. I mean, his favorite unit this game must be like the MCV. And there are a ton of pit bulls. And he's trying to snipe these harvesters down. I don't blame him. He could go for the harvesters. Harvesters at this stage, it's good still because the Tiberium is not depleted across the map. Dirty Dutch trying to do some harassment with this bike. He's just scouting this base here. He finally realizes that, hey, HiDrauLicK has expanded here, and that isn't really good for me. I've allowed that to happen. And what am I going to do about it? I'm going to go for the blue Tiberium. And look at this blue field. It's absolutely humongous. He's going to create a massive army with this blue tip if he's allowed to harvest it. And this game has been going for literally forever. And and I have been recording in full screen, so this is going to nuke my hard drive as well. I just know it. But it shouldn't be much of a problem. Anyways, these pit bulls are going to take a swipe at this harvester, but not quite getting it. The attack bikes are allowed to shoot at them, and Tipcore is extremely, extremely powerful. And the pit bulls do escape in two, with two surviving. What is Dirty Dutch going for now? He's going for mass buggies, not buggies, bikes, and he's trying to keep these harvesters alive. That's a good move there. Two of them actually barely managing to survive the onslaught of these Shatterer tanks. And the Shatterer tanks, they can't really shoot bikes. I mean, a few well microed bikes like Dirty Dutch is gonna do now could probably take out these Shatterer tanks, because they can't really do well against moving units such as the bikes. And another Shatterer gets taken out. There is a sniper team there. He's got more than one sniper, I think, unless they got taken out, and I didn't really see it. As you see, these sniper teams are going to take a shot at these rockets, and an AP ammo tower does come out. Wow, this is absolutely insane here. Dirty Dutch trying to mine as much as that blue Tiberium as he possibly can. Crushing a... No, why would he crush his own infantry? Come on. Shatterer tanks doing a massive amount of damage here. They are pretty good against infantry, but he is not really shooting it. No, Dirty Dutch not quite killing that Shatterer tank there. One more shot on those bikes and they will get absolutely destroyed. Pitbulls realizing they have to come back and save that Shatterer tank. He could place a war factory here and get some repairs for that Shatterer tank. He needs to keep that Shatterer tank alive, because that's really going to be what he needs to take on the infantry and the structures that are here. And Dirty Dutch, what has he gone for? He's decided to surrender. Alright, so Dirty Dutch, he surrendered as soon as he saw that his blue Tyrone field was taken away from him. He almost had a chance there to make an epic comeback, and wow, that was a pretty good game. I really enjoyed seeing that one. And wow, 32 minutes. I was expecting it to be a bit longer than that, but I guess I was wrong. Dirty Dutch losing a lot of his units in that game. I mean, he lost so many of his MCVs. HiDrauLicK extremely resistant there. He could have been defeated at any moment. Especially after Dirty Dutch used those one clicks. I mean, he didn't look to be in a good position then. It looked like he was going to win. He was going to lose that game right at that very moment. But he did manage to come back. He held on for a very long time, and Dirty Dutch, he got defeated in the end. So yeah, that was a pretty epic game. And going by the stats, the resources, HiDrauLicK, he gathered more resources throughout the last half of the game, but Dirty Dutch, he wasn't far behind in resources really. It was all about the unit count, and Dirty Dutch, he almost had more of the units, of course, because he was going for mass infantry, trying to get these stealth tanks in through the back and the side. But you know, HiDrauLicK, he did a good job in ensuring that those didn't do much damage to him. The Redeemers were taken care of pretty nicely as well. That was a nice game. And his favorite unit was the Pitbull for HiDrauLicK, and the favorite unit for Dirty Dutch was the Militant Rocket Squad. That was a pretty good game. And anyways, if you thought this video was entertaining, then don't forget to give me a like. You should notice a substantial, well, not substantial, but the difference in the quality of the video and whatnot. Anyways, this is Master Leaf, and if you thought the video was good, actually I already mentioned this. Anyways, peace out.